the noble and most ancient House of Black. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. Hello you, I hope you're good. My name is Kelsey Ellison and I'm the writer and producer of Sisters of House Black. Hello. Bellatrix Black, Andromeda Black and Narcissa Malfoy. They've always intrigued me so much. What was it like growing up and living a life with the infamous Bellatrix Lestrange? How did they all become to be the characters that we see in the Harry Potter story? This was one of the reasons why I wanted to create a short about their lives. There's not much canon on their past life, so it was really fun to imagine and explore that. Showing the sisters' development in such a short space of time in 40 minutes was challenging. I knew we had to show visually as much as we could, and costumes and the way they looked really helped with that. In the first few scenes, where the sisters are still really united and feel a strong allegiance to the Black family, they all wear very similar colour tones and outfits, even having their hairstyle similar. Everything slowly changes once the sisters have met Voldemort and each go their own path in this war. Bellatrix keeps the colour palette of black, but her costumes slowly turn more into the costumes you see in the Harry Potter films as time goes by. One way of doing this was adding corset silhouettes and then adding full-on corsets eventually. Her last costume is directly inspired by the Order of the Phoenix dress you first see Bellatrix wear. However, we made it look new and not tattered, as though she had just got this iconic outfit and had not yet done all of the terrible things she was eventually going to do in that dress. This new dress represents the beginning of the end of the Bellatrix we know in Sisters of House Black. We also made her hair get more curlier and crazy as time went on to show how the memory charms were affecting her mind. For Andromeda, her development was shown by how her clothes went from a more traditional Black family into more of a mix of wizard/70s muggle style. She also cuts her hair after getting arrested by the Ministry for being mistaken as Bellatrix. She doesn't want to be associated with her as much anymore. And for Narcissa, her style still stays quite elegant, like the Black family. However, as time goes on, she gets more fancier and Malfoy-like to impress and fit in with Lucius and his family. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, we assigned colours to Andromeda and Narcissa. Andromeda was purple, and Narcissa was, of course, green. Designing what the Black family style would be was a lot of fun. The time period in the film is from the late 60s right up to the beginning of the 80s, but I had to keep in mind that this was a pure-blood family that would also have its own kind of style and traditions. We actually added a few details to the costumes in relation to a lot of the Black family being named after stars. In Bellatrix's room, you can see a star map, and she also wears items of clothing that relate to that. One major one being the tiara she wears at the wedding, and also her quote,
stars only shine in darkness.
Since the Black family practically saw themselves as royalty, I went for elegant, almost magical pieces with items that glittered. Two pieces which really drew together the more traditional Black family style were the feather shawls. The Black family emblem includes 3 black birds and there are 3 black sisters. I thought it would be very fitting as a tradition for them to wear these at important events. Another way we nod to the more traditional style was to add jewellery pieces that were passed down in the family. I was very excited to work with the Sisters of House Black film and design accessories for each sister. I imagined that these accessories would have been Black family heirlooms passed down through the generations and worn to show the family's nobility above other witches and wizards. I started the design process by sketching my ideas for each piece until I had something I felt would represent each sister. Bellatrix wears a necklace in the film, but not just any necklace, a choker. This is meant to signify the tight restraints her parents place on her. In my research into the character, I found out that Bellatrix is the name of the third brightest star in the Orion constellation. Orion? I can never say that star right, sorry. The necklace is made of a darkened silver with shimmering Swarovski crystals, which is meant to represent the stars against the night sky. Narcissa wears a brooch. Her name is a reference to her vanity and the Greek god Narcissus. I was inspired to make the pin a bit extravagant, just like her. It too is made of a darkened silver because she ultimately turns to the dark side. The stones are pure black, representing her loyalty to the Black family. Andromeda wears a bracelet. It's made with silver and crystals, which represents her light-hearted nature and willingness to resist the darkness. I incorporated a swan into the bracelet that embodies grace and the love she possesses to follow her heart. Andromeda ultimately leaves her bracelet behind when she chooses her love for Ted Tonks over her family. As a huge thank you to fans of the film and for your support, we are having a competition to win Bellatrix's necklace as one in the film for free. All you have to do is follow Ellie Vision and A5 Accessories on Instagram, like the competition photo, tag at least one of your friends in the comments, and a winner will be chosen at random by the 5th of January 2020, and the necklace will be mailed to you directly anywhere in the world. Good luck! Before I started fully writing the script, I made notes on the sisters, and the points I made still stood strong in the final product.
I'm Bellatrix Black, and I've no doubt that you know the name that my sisters and I share.
Born 20th of December 1950. Now, we made up the actual month. There is no canon on any month that she was born that we could find, so we made that up. Named after the star Bellatrix, which means female warrior. In earlier memories, her demeanour is more like her sisters, with only a small hint of what's to come. But in later memories, after she has joined Voldemort, she is more like the Bellatrix the audience knew. Pure! Bellatrix chooses power and Voldemort. Through that, she also chooses to please her parents by marrying a pureblood, even though she may refuse to go ahead with an arranged marriage initially.
When I do marry, I want it to be my choice. I'll do it my own way. I don't appreciate a thing posted around like a Witch Weekly magazine.
But by the time it's brought up again, she's already obsessed with Voldemort and sees how she could use it to her advantage. She sees Rodolphus as a good match and does get along with him well, but never loves him. She was close to Andromeda at one point and was proud of how smart and strong Andromeda was. She saw her having a good future and possibly as a great alliance for her on her path to power. She sees it as an ultimate betrayal when Andromeda leaves.
She made her choice.
She grows up in the years following Dumbledore's triumph over Grindelwald. There was likely a pro-Muggle shift post-Grindelwald, so Bellatrix would grow up hearing about the good old days.
We could set out to do what Grindelwald achieved and more. And she could help.
She and other purebloods of her generation would feel as though their birthright had been stolen from them. Voldemort comes onto the scene as more of a political underdog and a champion of pure blood rights. Cygnus using memory charms on her for discipline does affect her and may have contributed to her turning out how she did. Although this may explain some of her actions, it doesn't excuse it. She's a textbook bully. Because she doesn't have full power at home under her father, she enjoys intimidating people and being surrounded by people of power. Voldemort gives her free rein to do that. She wants to be on top, so no one can hurt her. Myself playing Bellatrix wasn't the initial plan, but after scheduling issues, I thought a lot on what I wanted to do as an actress myself. I'd never played a role like her before. I never get given opportunities to do so, as someone who looks young, innocent, but also hasn't done as much screen work because of the artificial eye I have. However, I wanted to push myself, I wanted to challenge myself, and at the end of the day, there was no production bosses or casting directors saying the audience wouldn't want to see me, that my eye or my look would be distracting, which are all real things I have heard. I was the boss, and after consideration, I decided to go for it. I will put myself and this family first before I even consider making another. house.
Yes, I've got to pack in my newts now.
Don't be
then.
silly, Belle. Andromeda.
Born 14th of September 1953, we had to make this date up because there isn't any actual canon on her birthday. That's how little information we have on her. Before she hangs out with Ted, she has no reason to question her family's way, even showing an interest in the dark arts. We had one of these lines remaining in the script when she agrees to visit Voldemort.
He said he'd take us to visit the Dark Lord tonight. You two coming?
Of course! If there's new magic being taught, I want to be there. I'll go get my cloak.
We also hint to it again when she Imperios Narcissa.
Imperio!
Using an unforgivable curse? Andromeda. She looked up to Bellatrix and saw her as a strong role model. They're both very strong characters and usually got along quite well and would share jokes together, following her lead about making her own choices on someone to marry.
When I do marry, I want it to be my choice. I do it my own way.
Bella, this is my choice. I'm doing it my own way. You remember that, right?
This is why when Bellatrix agrees on an arranged marriage and starts her obsession with Voldemort and following his command, Andromeda is extremely disappointed.
How does Lestrange sound?
At school, even if Bellatrix and her friends did questionable things, she would turn a blind eye as she saw it more of an advantage and a security blanket that people would be scared or associate her with the sister. Although, out of all the three of them, she would be the easiest one to get along with or approach. She does love Bellatrix and her family, which is why she tries to ruin and distance her family ties with Voldemort. She's particularly worried about the person Bellatrix is becoming and wants the sister she looked up to back.
She made her choice.
No, you made it for her.
She gets along well with Narcissa and sees her more as the sister she can really talk to and trust, especially as time goes on and she grows further away from Bellatrix, which is why she tries to tell Narcissa about Ted, a deleted scene.
Thanks. I hate the Dementors. It's so cold.
Sissy, I need your help. The Green Gox job I got. This has to stay between me and you. I need you to keep an open mind.
Of course. What is it?
Do you remember the day at the forest?
But in the end, Andromeda is ultimately disappointed in Narcissa for standing by and letting things happen for Narcissa's own selfish reasons. She realises at the right time that power, dark arts, and having people fear you is not the way to live a good life. She may have realised that later on in life, like Narcissa, but thanks to Ted, she realises it a lot more sooner. Although she doesn't agree with them, she is still scared of disappointing her family. It's been instilled in her brain since she was a child to make them proud. Ted has probably tried to push her multiple times to leave them, so when Bellatrix and Narcissa find them and threaten to take her back to their parents, she sees the opportunity.
If they hear about this, Andromeda will surely be banished.
Take me to them. Do it.
Andromeda chooses love. She was tempted by power and possibly could have gone the same way as Bellatrix, but she meets Ted, who opens a whole new world for her.
Being able to play the role of Andromeda in Sisters of House Black has been a really exciting experience for me. This was my first role that I'd ever taken on that was for camera, for film. It was my first time working on a film set, which was really exciting and wonderful, especially as it was with such great people. I really feel like I learnt in the best way how a film set works by playing Andromeda. Another great thing about being able to play Andromeda was that I was able to make her my own. Like I've said before, there's not much information about her in the books and the films. We do know a little bit about her. We know her history, her family, the circumstances in the world that she lives in, and we have the script. But apart from that, there's not really much about her, so it was really fun to be able to create this character almost from scratch and put into her what I wanted. Also, Kelsey said that she did take a lot of inspiration on Andromeda in terms of costume and certain lines and sarcasm and wit. She did actually take that from myself, so to have this character that is kind of loosely based on who I am as a person and that sort of thing, it was really, really fun and interesting to see that come to life as well. The thing I'll miss most about playing Andromeda and being on Sisters of House Black is the exciting days of filming. Like, I can't explain to you how fun it is to be able to take on a role and be an actor and do what you love to do. I will miss the people I worked with on set. Everyone more or less was from down south, and I'm obviously still up north, and I don't get to go to a lot of the meetups and greet-ups that we all do, so I do get a bit of FOMO when it comes to that. And my biggest thing that I've loved to see is the reaction, to see that everyone's hard work has paid off, to see that you guys love and appreciate the story, the characters, the effort that has been gone into this, to see that this has paid off and that you all appreciate and love it as much as we do. That has been really rewarding, and it's something that I will treasure forever, definitely. So thank you, Sisters of House Black, and thank you to Andromeda.
They were your memories.
Born 24th of October 1955, we also had to make a little bit of this up too because, again, this wasn't in canon. Her name means daffodil. It could also be Narcissus, a beautiful but vain character from Greek mythology from with the term narcissum, which refers to vanity and elitism. Usually black families are named after stars or astrology. It's unclear why she wasn't. All of the scenes include Narcissa in them, since they are her memories. Narcissa, like her name, is all about image, in how she looks and how others will perceive her, such as her family, influential people of the wizarding world, and Lucius. She does love Lucius. There are signs of it in the Harry Potter books, such as when she jumps to his defense when speaking to Harry, and also when Voldemort tries to take his wand. Lucius could have anyone. He's one of the top families, but decides to go for Narcissa.
Lucius!
I'm sorry. You didn't tell me you were going to operate me here.
I might need you. Where's Andromeda?
At her job at Gringotts. Why?
We need a family meeting.
Let me guess where you two have been.
Well, you know, instead of sulking about it, you could join us.
It's also pretty obvious in this film when the music box plays. Maybe the initial attraction was both of their family statuses, but they began to realise they have true feelings for each other.
Lucius said it's charmed to play when it senses love.
He got you that? Oh, Mr. Death Eater has a sensitive side.
As the youngest, she looks up to her sisters, especially Andromeda, as she gravitates more to Andromeda's sense of humanity. She feels she can truly be herself in front of Andromeda and was close to her. Andromeda leaving and betraying the family does affect her. Because she only really kept in her own bubble at the time, she doesn't understand why Andromeda would do such a thing, which is one of the reasons why she goes back to look at her memories. But also because even though she's disappointed and hurt by Andromeda's actions, she wants to keep something of a sister she used to have. Her sisters are both strong women and characters. Because they are both such overbearing characters, especially together, sometimes she lets them overshadow her, sometimes in fear, especially with Bellatrix. But there are times when she does also stand for herself, such as when she tries to advise Bellatrix on storing memories.
Whatever you can control, take hold of. Keep storing those memories. I'd suggest watching them pensive each night.
When she pins Andromeda to a tree to confront her,
Oh,
explain yourself.
And when she stops that fight on the day too.
Stop it! Both of you!
When Andromeda leaves, you get to see that Narcissa is capable of being just as strong as her sisters, when she confronts and stands her ground against Bellatrix in the last scene.
Are you really gonna do to me what he did to you? Make me forget.
She knows when to keep her mouth shut in situations, even if she may be against it, for her own benefits and safety. In the one duel scene between Bellatrix and Andromeda, she stays back for a while, deciding what will benefit herself and her family the best, instead of jumping in and fighting straight away. The last scene with Bellatrix is very interesting. She wins Bellatrix over by playing her. She has her suspicions that it was Andromeda that apparated back, and uses that to stall and possibly stop Bellatrix from destroying the Pensieve by playing on her emotions.
Who was it that just apparated? Was it you or Andromeda? Bella!
Narcissa may not be as vocal as Bellatrix or Andromeda, and can be quite a hard person to read because of her Slytherin ways, but her actions ultimately show how she feels about situations. Narcissa chooses family and herself. She wants to please her parents, she wants to please Lucius, she wants to have the advantages of being with a pureblood family and an influential husband, no matter what they do. She's proud of her family and who she is. Family means everything to her, and though she doesn't see it yet, her love for them is her strongest asset.
Hello, Hannah Snow here, and I played Narcissa Black in Sisters of House Black. Playing Narcissa was both fun and challenging. Due to the time skips in the script, it was hard to be moving back and forth from young Narcissa to old Narcissa, so it was like there was always a lot to consider for her character. The things she'd been through, the people she'd met, the trouble she'd faced with her sisters, and I always hoped to express this in my portrayal of her. Whilst playing Narcissa, I learnt that I like to be able to try and stay in character whilst I'm on set. I think it helps me a lot as an actor, or at least stay in the frame of mind of the character. I'm not sure if that makes me a method actor, but I would love to study method acting in depth one day. I also kind of realised that I think I'll always be involved in the film world in some sort of way, and that's something that makes me very happy.
One of my favourite things about Sisters of House Black is the attention to detail within the film. There is a lot of research that's gone into this in terms of keeping it true to the wizarding world, to respecting the films that were previously made and the books that have been so wonderfully written. But there's also a lot of attention to detail to this particular story. There's been discussions between the actors about what scenes have just happened before the ones that you see on camera. There's been little props on set that we'll know about, like Bellatrix's workbook scattered across the table in her bedroom scene, that to anyone else you wouldn't really know, but it has a full diagram of her biology lessons and things like that.
The message I wanted to get across in this film, like the Harry Potter story itself, was the power of love. The love these sisters had, and the way they all interpreted it so differently, which led them down to extremely different paths. It's our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Even though they were all Narcissa's memories, I never really saw one sister to be the main character, or even the main protagonist, as they are all so morally grey. But I wanted them to all leave their own message, which can be very down to your own interpretation. For me, personally, Bellatrix. The love of power won't always lead to the best life. Don't be blinded by the obvious love in front of your eyes. Andromeda. Love can sometimes lead to hard sacrifices.
I've learnt a few things from Andromeda that I can take into my personal life. I've learnt to always follow your heart, that if a decision seems wrong, tainted, difficult, if you know deep down in your heart and your soul that that is the right thing to do, then you should do it. Not everyone will understand your beliefs, not everyone will understand your morals, not everyone will understand the choices that you make. But like I said, if it is true to yourself and true to what you want from life, then you should go for it. I also believe, like Andromeda, that we are all magical in this world, be it fiction or non-fiction, and that we should all strive towards a world where everyone is accepted with love, everyone's diversity is accepted with open arms, and we should all just make a little room for each other.
Narcissa, the power of love will give you the power to do anything. Speak up and believe in what you love. And another strong message I wanted to put across, which is quoted by Sirius in the books: the world isn't split into good people and Death Eaters. We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are. What these sisters chose in this story led them all down very different paths indeed. I hope you all enjoyed this video and Sisters of House Black. If you haven't watched the film, well, huge spoilers, but you can also watch it for free on YouTube now. Let me know in the comments which sister you resonated with most in the film, and also your interpretations from it too.
And don't forget, if you want to win Bellatrix's necklace, follow Elevision on Instagram and enter the competition there.
Thank you very much for watching. Bye!